The sky above Earth was clear that morning, but the peace did not last long. Suddenly, screens across every city lit up with the same urgent message. An alien fleet had appeared near the outer colonies of humanity. Their ships were large, dark, and silent, floating like shadows in space. The message they sent was simple but terrifying. Surrender all human colonies or face total destruction. On Earth, the news spread fast. People stopped what they were doing and stared at their screens in fear. Governments called emergency meetings. Military commanders studied the alien ships with concern. The aliens were not asking for a friendly talk. They were demanding a deal, and it was clear they meant business. But humanity was not ready to give up. The colonies were home to millions of people. These worlds were places where humans worked hard, built families, and dreamed of a better future. To give them up without a fight was impossible. At the United So. Nations headquarters, the leaders of Earth gathered. The room was tense and quiet. The alien message played again on a large screen. Surrender your colonies, end your resistance, or be destroyed. Some leaders looked worried, others clenched their fists in anger. The final decision was made. Humanity would not surrender. Instead, they would prepare to fight back with everything they had. Meanwhile, deep underground, scientists and engineers were working on a secret project. This project was a weapon unlike any other, built in total silence for years. No one outside the project knew what it was exactly. But now, with the alien threat so close, it was time to use it. The weapon was not just powerful, it was humanity's hope. On one of the outer colonies, a small mining town was suddenly on alert. Soldiers rushed through the streets, setting up defenses. The people there looked to the stars with fear and hope mixed in their eyes. They knew the aliens could attack at any moment, but they were ready to fight for their homes. As the alien ships moved closer, strange signals were picked up by human sensors. The signals were confusing, like a puzzle no one could solve. Experts tried to understand if it was a warning or a trick. Tension grew as everyone waited for what would come next. The silence before the storm was heavy. Back on Earth, a young pilot named Alex sat in the pilot's lounge watching the news. Alex was not just any pilot. He had trained hard for years and had a special skill with new fighter ships. But he felt the weight of what was coming. The alien demand was clear, but the fight was uncertain. Still, Alex believed in one thing. Humanity would not fall without a fight. The military sent out more ships to the colonies. They were ready to protect, but also to learn more about the alien fleet. The first encounters were small, but deadly. Some human ships disappeared in the dark of space. Others managed to escape, bringing back stories of strange weapons and unknown technology. The aliens were strong, but humans were stubborn. On Earth, people began to prepare for war. Factories worked day and night to build more ships and weapons. Families said their goodbyes, hoping for the best but fearing the worst. News reports spoke of heroes and leaders who promised to protect the world. The spirit of humanity was strong, even if the future was unclear. In a quiet control room, scientists activated the secret weapon. The room filled with light as the machine powered up. This weapon was not like a bomb or a missile. It used a new kind of energy, something powerful and dangerous. The scientists watched carefully, hoping their creation would be enough to turn the tide. As the alien fleet crossed the space between their ships and Earth's colonies, the first shots were fired. Explosions lit up the dark sky. The battle had begun. It was not just a fight for territory, it was a fight for survival. The humans fought bravely, using their new tactics and weapons. But the aliens did not back down easily. Across the galaxy, other alien races watched. Some were afraid, some curious. Humanity's answer to the alien threat was loud and clear. They would not be controlled or defeated. The message was simple. If the aliens wanted war, humanity would give them fire. In the middle of the chaos, Alex prepared to fly his ship. He looked at the stars and thought about the people he was protecting. His hands gripped the controls tightly. This was more than a battle. It was a test of human courage and strength. No matter what happened, He knew one thing for sure: humanity would never give up. The skies filled with the roar of engines and the flash of lasers. The fight was only beginning, but the world was ready. The threat had ignited a fire inside humanity, a fire that would burn brighter than any star. The battle for the colonies was here, and the outcome would change the future forever. The battle that started in space soon reached a new level of danger. The alien fleet was larger and stronger than anyone expected. Their ships moved fast, attacking the outer colonies without mercy. On one mining planet, the people had little time to prepare. The alarms blared, and the sky was filled with bright flashes of laser fire. Buildings shook from explosions, and the ground trembled beneath the feet of terrified citizens. Despite the sudden attack, the human soldiers did not give up. They quickly organized themselves into defense teams. Fighters scrambled into their ships, engines roaring as they took off to meet the enemy. In the middle of the chaos was Alex, the young pilot who had watched the threat grow from Earth. He had been sent to help protect this colony. His heart was pounding, but his hands were steady on the controls. He knew this fight was more than just survival. It was about proving that humanity would never back down. Alex's ship moved through the sky like a streak of silver. He flew low over the colony, dodging enemy fire and striking back with his own lasers. His training showed. Every move was quick and precise. The aliens were strong, but Alex was faster. He remembered the lessons his commander had taught him. Trust your instincts, fight smart, protect your people. That advice gave him courage. In the battle, Alex spotted an enemy ship that was trying to destroy the colony's main power station. If the aliens succeeded, the entire settlement would lose energy and fall into darkness. Without power, no defenses would work. Alex knew he had to stop them. He chased the alien ship through the sky, dodging blasts and weaving between space debris. With one final burst of speed, he fired his strongest laser shot. The alien ship exploded in a ball of fire, falling away from the colony. The people on the ground cheered when they saw Alex's victory on the screens. For a moment, hope returned, but the fight was far from over. More alien ships appeared, coming closer and faster than before. It was clear this was just the beginning of a long and brutal war. Back on Earth, the military leaders watched the battle reports closely. They knew the aliens had new technology that made their weapons deadly. The humans had to find a way to match that power quickly. Scientists raced to improve the ships and weapons. Engineers worked day and night to build more fighters like Alex's. Every moment counted. Meanwhile, on the mining colony, life became a test of endurance. People worked together to repair damage and keep the colony safe. Soldiers and civilians helped each other, sharing food, water, and hope. Even in fear, the human spirit shone bright. Alex was sent on more missions, each one harder than the last. He flew into dangerous zones, rescuing trapped settlers and fighting alien patrols. His skills grew, and soon, the military began to notice him. But Alex was not just a good pilot, he had a secret. Before the war, he had studied the alien ships closely. He understood some of their technology better than anyone else. This knowledge made him a valuable fighter. One night, after a long day of fighting, Alex sat alone under the stars. He thought about his family back on Earth and the friends he had left behind. The war was changing everything, but he refused to lose hope. He promised himself he would keep fighting until the last alien ship was gone. Suddenly, a call came through the radio. It was urgent. New enemy fleet approaching fast, prepare for battle. Alex jumped to his ship, ready for the next challenge. As he flew toward the new threat, he wondered what secrets the aliens still hid. He knew the battle was not just about weapons. It was about survival, courage, and the will to fight. The alien ships launched a massive attack on another colony. The sky burned with fire and smoke. The human fighters fought back with all their strength. The air was filled with the sound of explosions and the flash of laser beams. The fight was brutal and unforgiving. But in the middle of the chaos, Alex spotted something unusual. One alien ship was moving strangely, as if trying to send a message. He focused his sensors on the ship and discovered a hidden signal. It was a code, but no one had cracked it yet. This could be important. Maybe the aliens were not just attacking, they had a plan. Alex shared this discovery with his commanders. The secret signal gave humanity a new goal: understand the alien message and find a way to stop the war. The mystery added a new layer of suspense. The war was not just a battle of firepower. It was a puzzle waiting to be solved. As the sun set on the damaged colonies, humans prepared for the battles ahead. Every victory came with a cost, but the fight had also brought them closer together. The courage of pilots like Alex inspired many. The world was watching, and humanity was ready to prove it could stand against any enemy. The war had become more than a fight for land. It was a fight for the future of the human race. And in the darkness of space, a young pilot flew fast and fearless, leading the charge for hope. The war was growing darker. The aliens knew humanity would not give up easily. So, they decided to try a new, cruel plan. One night, when the stars were hidden behind thick clouds, a group of alien soldiers landed quietly on a human planet. They moved fast and without warning. Their target was not the soldiers or the fighters, it was the leaders. The people who made the important decisions. They wanted to capture them and force humans to obey. The aliens took several leaders hostage. These were men and women respected by all. Their faces were on the news every day, giving hope and guidance. Now they were prisoners in alien hands. The news shocked the whole world. People could not believe their leaders were captured. Fear and anger filled the hearts of humans everywhere. The aliens sent a message. They demanded a secret human weapon in exchange for the leaders' freedom. It was a dangerous threat. If humans did not obey, the aliens promised to kill the hostages. The world waited for an answer. But humanity did not give in. The leaders who were still free met in a secret room far underground. The air was heavy with worry. They knew the cost of giving up the secret weapon could be their end. If the aliens got it, they could destroy many more colonies, maybe even Earth itself. So the leaders made a hard choice. They would not negotiate with terrorists. Instead, they would fight harder to rescue their people. A special team was formed. These were the best soldiers, the bravest and smartest. Their mission was to sneak into the alien base and save the hostages. It was a dangerous job. The alien base was deep inside enemy territory, guarded by many soldiers and advanced technology. The team knew most of them might not come back. Among the team was Alex, the young pilot who had shown great skill in battle. He was chosen not only because of his flying skills, but also because of his knowledge of alien technology. Alex had studied their ships and weapons carefully. His understanding gave the team hope. Before the mission, Alex sat quietly, thinking about the leaders trapped far away. He felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. This mission was more than a fight. It was a race against time. Every moment counted. The team moved out in silence under the cover of darkness. They used small ships to get close without being noticed. The alien base was hidden on a rocky moon surrounded by dark craters. As they approached, sensors on their ships detected alarms. The aliens were ready, waiting for an attack. The rescue mission turned into a fierce battle. The team fought their way through corridors filled with strange machines and dangerous traps. They faced alien guards with powerful weapons. Every step forward was hard-earned and risky. Inside the base, the hostages were kept in cold cells. They were scared but strong. One leader, a woman named Commander Lara, kept the group calm. She told them to trust the rescuers and to be ready to escape when the time came. Meanwhile, Alex and his team reached the control room. Here, they found important information about the alien plans. They learned the aliens were preparing for an even bigger attack. The secret weapon the aliens wanted was connected to humanity's own defenses. If the aliens took it, the war would end badly for humans. The team freed the hostages and quickly moved to escape. The alarm sounded louder, and alien soldiers rushed to stop them. In the chaos, Alex flew his small ship through narrow tunnels and dark passages, dodging fire and explosions. The team held together, fighting back when they could. As they reached their ships, the team was almost caught, but a quick decision by Alex saved them. He used a powerful blast to block the aliens, buying time for the others to board and take off. The ships raced away from the moon, leaving behind the angry enemy. Back on Earth, the rescue was a moment of hope. The leaders were safe, and the people cheered their return. But the warning was clear. The aliens were stronger than before, and willing to use any cruelty to win. Alex was tired but proud. He knew the fight was far from over. The aliens had sent a message. They would not stop until they destroyed humanity or forced it to obey. But humans had answered back with courage and fire. In secret meetings, the leaders discussed what to do next. They decided to speed up the production of new weapons and ships. The scientists worked day and night trying to find ways to protect everyone. The soldiers prepared for the battles ahead. The people of Earth and the colonies waited nervously. They had won a small victory, but the war was still raging. Every day brought new dangers, but also new heroes. The young pilot, Alex, was now one of them. His name was known and his bravery inspired many. The aliens had tried to break humanity's will by capturing their leaders. But instead, they had made humans stronger. The fight for survival was no longer just about war. It was about hope, trust, and never giving up. As the stars shone quietly in the night sky, humanity prepared for the battles to come. The war was far from over, but so was the human spirit. And this time, they were ready to face whatever came next. The war had reached a new stage. The aliens, frustrated by their failed plan to capture the leaders, decided to strike directly at Earth itself. For the first time, massive enemy ships appeared close to Earth's orbit. The skies were no longer safe. People on the ground looked up in fear, seeing strange ships blocking the stars. On Earth, the alarm system screamed. Military forces scrambled to defend the planet. Fighter jets launched from air bases, and missile systems activated. The world was on high alert. This was not just a fight for distant colonies anymore. It was a fight for the home planet. Alex was now part of a special defense squadron. His team was called the Sky Guardians. Their mission was clear: protect Earth's skies and stop any alien attack before it reached cities and towns. Alex trained hard with his squad. They practiced flying in formation, shooting targets, and working as one unit. Every second counted. One evening, as the sun was setting, radar picked up a large enemy fleet moving fast toward Earth. The Sky Guardians prepared to meet them. The pilots checked their ships, making sure weapons and shields were ready. Alex looked around at his teammates. They were nervous but determined. The battle started quickly. Alien ships attacked from all sides. Lasers flashed through the sky like bright lightning. Explosions shook the atmosphere. Civilians below watched in horror as war raged above their homes. Alex flew his fighter into the heart of the battle. His ship moved with speed and power. He dodged enemy fire and returned shots with precision. His training and experience gave him an edge, but the aliens were relentless. They used strange tactics and weapons humans had never seen before. In the middle of the fight, a huge alien warship appeared. It was much larger than any ship Alex had faced before. The warship's guns fired massive energy blasts, destroying smaller human ships. The sky filled with smoke and fire. The Sky Guardians focused on the big warship. They knew if it was not stopped, Earth would be in great danger. Alex led a risky plan. His squad would distract the warship while a special team attacked its weak points. Flying close to the warship was dangerous. Its weapons could destroy a fighter in seconds. But Alex was brave and skilled. He flew close to the warship's surface, dodging blasts and firing his lasers at small openings in its armor. Suddenly, an explosion rocked Alex's ship. One of the warship's guns had hit him. His controls shook and alarms sounded. But Alex stayed calm. Using all his skill, he kept flying and aimed one last powerful shot at the warship. The shot hit a critical part of the enemy ship. Suddenly, the warship started to lose power. Its weapons stopped firing, and it began to drift. The special attack team moved in quickly, destroying the warship completely. The battle was won, but the cost was high. Many human ships were lost, and the skies were filled with smoke. But Earth was safe for now. The people celebrated, but they knew the war was far from over. After the battle, Alex visited the families of the fallen soldiers. He saw their pain and promised to continue the fight. Their sacrifice was not forgotten. Alex felt proud to fight, for a world that never gave up. The military leaders met again to plan the next steps. They knew the aliens would return. This war was a test of humanity's strength, courage, and unity. They needed new ideas and stronger weapons to win. Scientists shared a new discovery. They had found a way to improve the secret weapon, making it even more powerful. This weapon could change the course of the war if used wisely. But it was dangerous, and it required great care. Alex was chosen to test the improved weapon in space. It was a risky mission, but he accepted without hesitation. He knew the future of humanity might depend on it. As Alex prepared for the mission, he looked at Earth from space. The planet was beautiful and fragile. He made a silent promise to protect it with all his strength. The war was getting harder and more dangerous, but with each battle humans learned, adapted, and grew stronger. The aliens had started a war, but humanity would answer with fire, courage, and hope. The day had come for Alex to test the new weapon. The secret weapon was a powerful device designed to protect humanity and turn the tide of war. Scientists called it the Fire Heart. It could create a powerful energy field, strong enough to destroy enemy ships and stop attacks before they began. But using it was dangerous. One wrong move could destroy everything around it, including the humans controlling it. Alex stood in the command room surrounded by experts and military leaders. Everyone watched him with hope and worry. He felt the pressure, but also a strong determination. He was ready to face this challenge. The Fireheart was installed on a special ship, built for speed and defense. Alex climbed into the pilot's seat, feeling the hum of the ship's engine. The controls were different from his usual fighter, but he trusted his skills. As the ship lifted off, Alex thought about the battles he had fought. Each one had taught him something new. Now, it was time to test something new and powerful. The ship moved toward the enemy fleet, which was gathering near a distant star system. The aliens had learned about the Fireheart and were preparing their strongest forces. Alex knew this battle would be the toughest yet. When the ship reached the enemy, Alex activated the Fireheart. A bright light spread out from the ship, creating a dome of energy. The alien ships tried to break through the shield, but their weapons bounced off. The Fireheart was working. The aliens launched their strongest attack. Giant ships fired massive energy beams. Smaller fighters swarmed like angry bees. Alex fought hard, flying through the chaos and protecting the Fireheart. His hands moved quickly over the controls, keeping the shield steady. Suddenly, the Fireheart began to pulse wildly. The energy was too strong, too much to control. The ship shook, alarms blared, and the crew felt fear. If the weapon exploded, it would destroy everything nearby. Alex stayed calm. He focused on the controls, using all his training to stabilize the Fireheart. Slowly, the pulsing stopped. The shield grew stronger, and the enemy ships began to retreat. The humans cheered on the command ship as the aliens fled. The Fireheart had won the battle. For the first time, humanity had a weapon powerful enough to stop the enemy fleet. But the victory came with a warning. The Fireheart used a rare energy source that was hard to find. If humanity wanted to keep fighting, they would have to find more of this energy, and fast. Back on Earth, the leaders knew the war was changing. The Fireheart was a new hope, but also a new challenge. The war was no longer just about fighting, it was about survival and resourcefulness. Alex became a hero. People spoke of his courage and skill, but he remained humble. He knew the war was not over and many battles lay ahead. In quiet moments, Alex thought about the future. He dreamed of a day when the war would end and people could live in peace. But until then, he would fight with all his heart. The aliens had started the war, but humanity answered with fire and with hope. After the victory with the Fireheart, humanity felt a new kind of hope. But the war was far from over. The aliens did not give up. They grew more dangerous and clever. They changed their tactics, striking where humans least expected. The battlefields were no longer just in space or on distant colonies. Now the fight came to places no one thought it would. Reach one day, a small human settlement on a quiet planet was attacked. The aliens used stealth ships that were nearly invisible. They moved silently, destroying the settlement's defenses before anyone could react. The people had little time to escape. Many were captured or lost in the chaos. The news shocked Earth and the colonies. The aliens were learning, adapting faster than humans could. The leaders realized they had to be even smarter. It was no longer enough to fight with firepower alone. They needed spies, scouts, and secret missions deep inside enemy territory. Alex was chosen for a new kind of mission. This time, it was not a battle in the sky. It was a mission on the ground. He had to sneak into an alien base, find out their plans, and get out alive. The mission was dangerous. The aliens were ruthless, and their bases were full of traps and guards. Before the mission, Alex trained hard. He learned about alien languages, their habits, and technology. His team worked together, practicing their plan over and over. The goal was clear: get the information that could save millions of lives. The night of the mission came. Alex and his small team landed on the alien planet under the cover of darkness. The air was cold and strange. The alien base was hidden in a mountain cave, surrounded by sensors and guards. They moved carefully, using shadows and silence. Every step could be their last. Inside the base, Alex saw things he had never imagined. Machines that could control minds, weapons that changed shape, and creatures that watched them with cold eyes. Alex's heart beat fast, but he stayed calm. The team found the control room where the aliens kept their most secret plans. They quickly copied the files and prepared to leave. But the alarms suddenly rang out. Someone had spotted them. The base exploded with noise and lights. Guards rushed to capture the intruders. Alex and his team fought hard, using their training and quick thinking to escape. They ran through narrow tunnels, dodging traps and blasts. Just when they thought they were safe, Alex faced a difficult choice. A large door blocked their way, and the aliens were closing in. Alex took a deep breath and used a powerful charge to blow the door open. The explosion shook the base, but it gave them a chance to escape. They ran to their ship and took off, leaving the alien planet behind. The mission was a success. The information they brought back revealed a terrible plan. The aliens were building a new weapon, one that could destroy entire planets with a single shot. The leaders on Earth knew time was running out. They had to stop the weapon before it was finished. The war was no longer just about fighting ships and soldiers. It was about saving whole worlds. Alex's mission had changed everything. He had seen the enemy up close and learned their secrets. The war was more dangerous than ever, but humanity had new hope. They had courage, skill, and the will to fight. As the stars shone over Earth, Alex prepared for the battles ahead. He knew the road would be hard, but he also knew one thing for sure: humanity would never back down. They had answered the alien threat with fire, and they would keep fighting until the war was won. The alien weapon was almost ready. Hidden deep in space, the device had the power to destroy entire planets. If the aliens finished it, Earth would be their first target. The human leaders had no choice. They had to strike first, or everything would be lost. Alex stood on the deck of the command ship, staring at the stars. He had been through countless battles, seen friends fall, and watched humanity come close to defeat. Now, everything depended on one final mission: destroy the alien weapon before it could fire. This mission would not be easy. The alien weapon was guarded by an entire fleet. They had mined the area, set traps, and built a powerful shield around the weapon. Any direct attack would fail. So the humans came up with a different plan: strike from within. Alex and a team of elite soldiers and engineers would sneak inside the enemy fleet, reach the weapon, and destroy it from the inside. The mission was risky. If they were caught, they wouldn't survive. But they all agreed it was worth the risk. The human fleet created a distraction. Huge warships attacked from one side, drawing attention and fire, While the enemy focused on the battle, Alex's small ship flew through a secret path using stealth mode to avoid detection. As they got closer to the alien weapon, they saw it, a massive dark structure floating near a dead star. It looked like a sleeping giant, waiting to wake up and destroy everything. Even from a distance, the energy coming from it felt terrifying. Alex's ship landed on the surface of the weapon. The team moved fast, cutting into the hull and entering the dark corridors inside. The halls were cold, full of strange machines and glowing lights. Everything felt alive, like the weapon was watching them. They moved deeper, avoiding patrols and traps. Finally, they reached the core, the heart of the weapon. It was a massive energy crystal, pulsing with red light. If they destroyed it, the entire weapon would explode. But they had only minutes before enemy forces arrived. The engineers set the charges while Alex and the others guarded the room. Alarms began to sound. The aliens had discovered them. Footsteps echoed in the hallways. Time was running out. The first wave of enemy soldiers arrived. Alex and his team fought back with everything they had. Lasers fired, smoke filled the room and bodies fell. Alex shouted orders, keeping everyone focused. They had to hold the line no matter what. The countdown reached its final seconds. The engineers screamed that the charges were ready. Alex gave the signal. Everyone ran toward the exit, racing through the halls as the weapon began to shake. Behind them, the core exploded. The shockwave ripped through the structure. Alex's team barely reached their ship in time. As they flew away, the alien weapon burst into a massive fireball, lighting up the stars. The alien fleet saw the explosion and began to retreat. Their greatest weapon was gone, and their will to fight broke with it. Humanity had struck the final blow. Back on Earth, people cried and cheered. The war that had almost ended their world was finally over. The aliens sent a message. They surrendered. They wanted peace. The threat was over, for now. Alex returned a hero, but he didn't care about medals or speeches. He only cared that Earth was safe. He had done his duty. His team had survived. And humanity had proven something powerful, that they would never kneel, never surrender, and never forget who they were. In the end, the message was clear. The terrorists had demanded a deal, but humanity answered with fire.